Have you ever wondered why your mind keeps replaying the same thoughts? Stay with me for the next few minutes. I think what you're about to hear might change the way you understand your own mind.
Have you ever noticed how your mind always seems to return to the same memories, the same conversation, the same mistake, the same person? You tell yourself it's time to move on. You distract yourself. You stay busy. You try not to think about it. And somehow, those thoughts always find their way back. If this keeps happening to you, I want you to know something. Your mind isn't doing this because you're weak, and it doesn't mean you're broken. In fact, there's a fascinating psychological reason behind it. Your brain has one job above all else: to keep you safe, not to keep you happy, not to make you confident, not even to help you move on. Its first priority has always been survival, and your brain has learned something over thousands of years. Anything that feels unfinished could still be a threat. That's why emotionally painful experiences often stay alive in your mind much longer than happy ones. Psychologists sometimes call this the negativity bias. Our brains naturally pay more attention to pain than pleasure. Not because life is supposed to be sad, but because remembering danger has helped humans survive. The problem is, your brain doesn't always know the difference between physical danger and emotional pain. A difficult breakup, a painful rejection, an embarrassing mistake, a harsh comment someone made years ago. Your mind stores those experiences as important, so it keeps bringing them back, almost as if it's asking, have we figured this out yet? And every time you replay the memory, your brain assumes it's still important. That's why overthinking becomes a cycle. You think because you're anxious, and the more you think, the more anxious you become. It's like scratching a wound that's trying to heal. You aren't helping it. You're accidentally keeping it open. What's interesting is that most people believe overthinking will eventually give them peace. If I just understand what happened, if I analyze it one more time, if I imagine every possible outcome, then maybe I'll finally feel okay. But emotions rarely work that way. Sometimes clarity helps, but many times, peace comes along before certainty. Think about someone who hurt you. Maybe you've spent weeks or months trying to understand why they acted the way they did. Maybe you've imagined conversations that never happened. Maybe you've created dozens of explanations. Did any of them truly set you free? Out of your mind. But this feeling doesn't always come from finding better answers. Sometimes it comes from accepting that no answer will ever feel complete. That's one of the hardest lessons the human mind has to learn. Another reason that it's okay is because your brain wants familiarity. We can feel familiarity. It sounds strange, but familiar pain often feels safer than unfamiliar ones. That's why people sometimes return to unhealthy relationships, why they repeat the same patterns, why they keep doubting themselves. Not because they enjoy suffering, but because their nervous system recognizes what feels familiar. Your brain quietly whispers, I know this, even if this has always hurt you. Real change feels uncomfortable at first, not because it's wrong, but because it's new. Your mind needs time to learn that peace is also safe. There's another truth I want you to hear today. You are not every thought that enters your mind. Thoughts happen, just like clouds passing through the sky. Some stay longer, some disappear quickly. The problem begins when we believe every thought deserves our attention. Imagine sitting beside a busy road. Cars pass constantly. You wouldn't chase every single one. You would simply watch them go by. Thoughts can be like that too. You don't have to climb to every passing car. You don't have to follow every fame, or every memory, or every worst-case scenario. Sometimes, the humblest thing you can do is simply notice a thought without giving it permission to stay. This doesn't happen overnight. It relies on practice. They need patience, and most of all, they need kindness. Because many people become angry with themselves for overthinking. They say things like, "Why am I like this? What's wrong with me? I should be stronger." But imagine saying those words to someone you love. You probably never would. So why say them to yourself? Your mind isn't your enemy. It's a protector that's working a little too hard. Instead of fighting it, try listening to it. The next time the same thought appears, don't ask, "How do I make this disappear?" Ask instead, "What is this thought trying to protect me from?" Sometimes the answer is fear. Sometimes it's loneliness. Sometimes it's uncertainty. And sometimes it's simply exhaustion. Because tired minds think louder. Anxious minds think faster. Lonely minds think louder. That's why rest matters. Connection matters. Self-compassion matters. Not because they erase difficult thoughts, but because they make those thoughts easier to carry. If you've been stuck inside your own head lately, I hope you remember this. Healing is rarely a single breakthrough. It's usually hundreds of small moments where you choose kindness instead of criticism, rest instead of endless analysis, presence instead of fear, and one day, almost without noticing, the thought that once visited you every hour only comes once a week, then once a month. Then it quietly lets you go. Not because you forced it to leave, but because your mind finally realized you were safe. So tonight, or whenever you're listening to this, be gentle with yourself. You don't have to solve your entire life today. You don't need every answer. You don't need to win every battle inside your own mind. Sometimes, peace begins the moment you stop trying to control every thought and simply allow yourself to breathe. Take care of yourself. And thank you for spending these moments with me.